Let's get ready to rumble! Street Fighter, Street Fighter. Isn't that a song? I feel like there's a lot of rap music in this movie. I need to get the soundtrack. Hey, it's Andre, and in an earlier video, I watched Mortal Kombat Annihilation for the very first time. I had never seen it. I've heard so many things about it, about how bad and cheesy it was, and I finally watched it, and it lived up to the hype of the bad and cheesiness that everyone told me about it, and now it's one of my favorite movies of all time. So after seeing that movie, I had some people ask me, well, Andre, there was another fighting video game turned into a movie in the 90s that happened, Street Fighter. Clearly you've seen Street Fighter, Andre. Technically, yes. Okay, here's the story. Back in the day, I used to work at a video store. It was a local video store. It wasn't a Blockbuster. A Blockbuster was built across the street from the video store and eventually took the local video store's business to the point where it had to close down. And then Blockbuster eventually closed out itself. Because it was a local video store, we didn't have a promotional videotape that you had to just play on repeat all the time. We could play whatever movie we wanted to in the video store as long as it wasn't rated R. There was like a few monitors, little tiny monitors across the video store hung up. And at that point, I had not seen Street Fighter. I did not see it in theaters. It was on videotape, so I put it on. And that is technically the only time I ever saw it, which really isn't watching it because I was also working. So it was like I would kind of watch it, put the return tapes back up on the shelves. I watched a little bit more. I had to check somebody out. I watched a little bit more. And that is not a movie you can leave and come back to and know what's going on. So I have technically seen Street Fighter before, but I saw it on a bunch of tiny monitors in a video store while working. For those that don't know, Street Fighter, the movie, came out in 1994, loosely, and I do mean loosely, based on the Street Fighter video games, particularly Street Fighter 2 and Super Street Fighter 2, the new challengers. And sadly, it is also known as the final performance of the late, great Raul Julia. He plays M. Bison. You might also know him playing Gomez Addams from the Addams Family movie. It made money. Apparently, it made more than its budget, but it was not really well received. It didn't get a sequel. Later, we got a reboot, Street Fighter Legend of Chun-Li. Don't make me. I've seen it. Don't make me. Over time, people have come to have a loving fondness for its cheesiness. So in order for me to see Street Fighter, I had to pull out my Peacock. Peacock has Street Fighter because it's a Universal movie. So this is my true cinematic experience of watching Street Fighter. The respect it deserves to watch it proper. But to be brave enough to watch Street Fighter, I'm gonna need some support. So today's video is sponsored by Surfshark. Surfshark is a virtual private network or VPN that keeps your internet browsing and online identity hidden and safe. Just like M. Bison shouldn't take over the world, your online activity should not be taken over by trackers, hackers, advertisers, and data thieves. Every time you browse, stream, or shop, you can use one Surfshark account on unlimited devices. But what's also cool about Surfshark is that you can use it to connect to the internet internationally. This gives you access to movies and TV shows on streaming services that you may not have in your country, no matter where you are in the world. Maybe you want to watch a classier video game to movie adaptation, like say, Super Mario Brothers. But there's no streaming service that has Super Mario Brothers in the United States. America needs to trust the fungus. However, Super Mario Brothers is available on Netflix, just in Germany, because they apparently have better taste in movies. Log into Netflix, use Surfshark to change your location to Germany, and then boom, you can watch Dennis Hopper, King Koopa, try to get that meteorite piece while waiting for his pizza. Just like the video game. Netflix in Germany also has the Resident Evil movie and the Doom movie. So you can just have a wonderful night of video game movies to watch. They also have the original Mortal Kombat movie, so there you go. Palate cleanser. But let's say you're like me and you want to watch the Street Fighter movie because like me, you're also insane, but you don't live in the United States and Peacock is not available in your country. Well, don't worry, my international friends. Just use Surfshark to change to any of the servers located in the United States. And now you can pretend to be an American and get on Peacock to watch a Street Fighter movie, just like Jean Claude Van Damme pretended to be an American playing Guile in the Street Fighter movie. And you can do all of this while keeping your internet activity and online personal info safe and secure. Even Surfshark won't have your info thanks to their strict no logs policy. If you sign up for Surfshark using my code BNC, you get 83% off plus 3 extra months for free. So click on the link in the description to sign up for Surfshark. Keep yourself safe on the web as well as enjoying unrestricted entertainment worldwide. Click on that link and remember to use my code BNC to get 83% off plus 3 extra months for free. Thank you, Surfshark, for sponsoring this video and giving me the courage to revisit Street Fighter. So it starts off with the Universal logo turning into the Street Fighter logo. Ah, that's classy. And we hear from Chun-Li, a reporter. Wait, what? I'm sorry, hold on. Let me look something up real quick. Chun-Li. Yeah, martial artist, Interpol officer. Reporter covering the mad tyranny of General M. Bison. He has taken over the country of Shadaloo. It's a country now. He plans to make it his own land. He has even taken a bunch of hostages and of course is demanding billions of dollars. What's really cool about this part too is like all the regular civilians that he has as hostages, he puts them away. But any soldier he has, he's like, y'all said y'all wanted to fight me. Come fight me. And every single one of them that walks up, he's like, nope, snap, next, clank. But you know who's not gonna accept this? Guile, the all-American Guile, played by the all-American Jean Claude Van Damme. He doesn't want to give a report to Chun-Li, but eventually when he finds out that it's all about Bison, he's like, let me get that camera. Let me tell you, Bison, I'm coming for you. And then Bison's like, oh, for real? Let me get a message back to you. So he calls his hacker, DeeJay. Hold on. DeeJay Street Fighter. Yes, a Jamaican kickboxer. Okay. So he's a hacker, but he still has his Jamaican accent, General. That was bad. So M. Bison hacks into camera and monitor to talk back to Guile. And he's like, you have 3 days and give me billions of dollars or else I kill the hostages. And then Guile's like, I'm coming for you, M. Bison. I'm coming for you. And then right at the end he goes, don't worry, Charlie. We're gonna come and get you, Charlie. And Charlie's like, will you shut up, man? Why you calling me out on camera? I'm literally caught by this dude. Now he knows me. And of course, M. Bison looked at that name tag and was like, Carlos Blanka, Charlie. Send him to the transformation chamber. There you go. This is all your fault. Why you call me out on camera? So you into this story, right? Don't worry about it. We're going to something else right now. Now we're going to a cage match with Vega. Why? Cause game. Don't worry about that right now. Now we gotta go over to meet Sagat, who is meeting up with Ken and Ryu. This was back in the day when we still called him Ryu, but I'll call him Ryu for the video. But Ken and Ryu, they're like scam artists. They like sell fake weapons. Like they try to sell some weapons to Sagat, but they end up just shooting out like tennis balls or something or Nerf balls. So Sagat, you think he's gonna kill him. He's like, nah, I'm just gonna throw you in the cage match with Vega. Oh, okay. This is some Street Fighter stuff in the movie because it's got the giant cage like what Vega fights in. He's got the mask on. He eventually takes it off and is all like, look at me, I'm pretty. He's about to grab his weapon, but then everyone's like, no weapons, no weapons. And he's like, but that's my thing. Like, have you played the game? That's my thing. Then they put Ryu up in there and they rip his shirt off and all the ladies are like, ooh, and there's this one lady that like has Vega's sign and she sees Ryu with that shirt off and is like, you know what, I changed sides. And Vega's like, no. And then Vega gets in his pose and Ryu gets in his pose and I'm like, ah, shoot, the Street Fighter portion of the Street Fighter movie is happening. And then Guile comes in and stops the whole thing before a fight even starts. So we don't get any street fighting in the Street Fighter yet. God dang it. It's in the title. But the reason why Guile did that is because he's trying to capture Sagat because Sagat has connections to M. Bison. Then when they put all the prisoners away, they see Ken and Ryu fighting. Guile sees it. I guess who's supposed to be Cammy sees it. I guess who's supposed to be T-Hawk sees it. And they're like, oh, those two can fight. I got plans for them. Make Sagat trust you so that when you get close to Bison, we can go in. Perfect plan. And yes, that is pop singer Kylie Minogue playing the role of Cammy. Can't get that out of your head. So Ken and Ryu stage a prison fight. They use that to get the keys from one of the guards. And when they got the keys, the guy's like, hey man, let me out. Let me help you out. Let me free. And I know everybody up in Shadaloo. I can get you out of here, no problem. So they give him the keys. We get a whole prison break escape out of a truck. Ken's on the back of a truck. Guile's trying to stop him. Ken pulls out a gun. My favorite Ken move from Street Fighter 2. And Ken shoots Guile. Guile is dead. Oh no. Chun-Li, played by the great Ming Na Wen. So she does a news report saying Guile is dead. Bison sees the report hanging out with DeeJay and Zangief. I'm sorry, this is that guy. If Zangief is your favorite character in the Street Fighter games, I hate to warn you. Everything he says is a joke. He He's so dumb. But anyway, M. Bison sees Guile is dead, and he's like, this is a shame. I love M. Bison during this whole scene because the others are like, yay, Guile is dead. And he's like, no, this is sad for me because I wanted to meet him and fight him man to man in respectful combat. And then I would have broken his spine. It's so great. And then he gives the most amazing speech to the point where even him being the villain, I was like, you kind of selling me on this, Bison. They call me a warlord and mad? All I want to do is make the perfect genetic soldier, not for power, not for evil, but for good. And he's like, I'll go into every creed, every nation with my soldiers until they're all in the loving grip of the Pax Basilica. Like, preach, Bison, preach. Then there will be peace, and they will all bow down to me in eternal gratitude. And he like poses, and that music's all like, dun, 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 dun. And his sign is behind him, Bisonopolis, where he's gonna put the food court there. And I love it, dude. Raul Julia is just bringing it. What's great about his performance in this movie, everything is ridiculous, but he says it in a way that it doesn't sound ridiculous. But then when I say it later, I'm like, wait, that was stupid. But when he says it, that's freaking masterpiece. Like, I want to give an Oscar to that performance just for the simple fact that he makes nonsense sound beautiful. That is a sign of a true actor, my friend. But Chun-Li is definitely wanting to find out what's going on. So while the whole prison break thing happened, she put a tracking device on the truck that got away with Ken and Ryu and Sagat and Vega. So she goes back to her camera crew, E. Honda and Balrog. Hold on, I'm not even gonna look that up. I know that Balrog is a boxer and E. Honda, I believe, is a sumo wrestler. Why the hell are they camera crew? What is going on? Why does nobody in this movie have the job that they were supposed to have? Chun-Li's doing the news. Balrog and E. Honda are working camera crew like they're freaking Vernon from the Ninja Turtles cartoon. You got DeeJay as a hacker, used to work at Microsoft. You know it's something when Guile, played by Jean Claude Van Damme, is still the closest to being close to the actual character by being at least a soldier. But everybody else is like, we got new jobs. And then they try to explain with Balrog and E. Honda later. E. Honda was like, oh yeah, I was a professional sumo wrestler, but M. Bison ruined my career. And then Balrog was like, yeah, same with me with my boxing career. How? And also why? Like, this dude is trying to take over the entire country and call it Bisonopolis. When during that time did he also go, you know what? Let me also cancel this dude's boxing and sumo careers. Like what? Like when did that happen? How is that part of the plan? I don't get it. Also, who's this Sawada dude? I'm like, who is that? He's not in any of the games. I looked him up. I was like, did I forget this character? The only game I saw him in was the Street Fighter game based on this movie. Like, who is this random dude that's now in this movie? I guess he like tried out for Ryu, but they already cast someone. They're like, but we want this dude in it because he's done some movies before. So like, let's put him in this. A movie based on a fighting video game that has a ton of characters to just randomly make one of your lead characters a brand new character that no one has ever seen before. That's crazy. While Chun-Li is checking out her homing device, they find out that there's another homing device that's going on. So she's like, I gotta figure out where that is. So they find the source of the second homing device, follow that. We then see a dead Guile with a sheet covering him with the homing device next to him. And then lo and behold, haha, Guile is not dead after all. It was all ruse to get Ken and Ryu closer to Sagat, to get them closer to Bison so they can infiltrate. My question, why is Guile under the sheet? Was he just there the entire time? Was he just like, I'm playing dead, I'm playing dead, I'm playing dead? Like, why was he just hanging out there under the sheet for someone to show up and be like, ha? And that's when Chun-Li is like, I'm not just here to cover the news. I'm here to kill Bison. And Guile's like, you can't have this be your personal vendetta. Take her away. It's my personal vendetta. Top notch. But of course, it's Ming Na Wen. You gotta get some action going. So she flips out, totally escapes, then disguises herself as part of some dance show with E. Honda and Balrog. And they do a show for M. Bison. Bison does not recognize E. Honda and Balrog, even though he supposedly ruined their careers. They do this whole show and they make Chun-Li disappear inside of a barrel with the Capcom logo on the top of the barrel. And the thing was, Chun-Li was about to make that whole place explode. She's like, I'm about to kill all y'all, but oh dang, Ken and Ryu are here. We gotta change plans. So she does this whole like flirty thing to Ken, like, come here, you. And Ken's like, what's going on? And so while Chun-Li is getting Ken and Ryu out of the way so she can continue her plan, Sagat and Bison are talking, and Sagat's like, hey, I'm gonna hook you up with some weapons, some real weapons this time. Just give me that money. And then Bison's like, but why have money when you can have part of my country? Once I take over this world, I'll give you a piece of it. And he's like, look, man, after your war, there might not be much of a world left. Just give me that money right now. And he's like, fine, here's the money. And he opens up that box. And the guy's like, what is this? Because it ain't actual money. It's Bison's own money. He made Bison dollars. This dude printed his own money. I'm like, who are you? Are you a king from Zamunda? Like, why you got your own money right now, Bison? Of course the guy's like, nah, man, burn that money. And Bison's like, oh, you burn my money, you burning me. This ain't cool now. So now we gotta have a standoff. We got Sagat's team on one side and then Bison's team on the other side, and Ken and Ryu get away and they walk back in. They're like, oh shoot, what do we walk in on? And the monitor pops up and Chun-Li's like, hey, what's up, y'all? We tricked you. We about to destroy all y'all weapons. And they're all looking at the monitor and looking at this truck about to hit this other truck and cause an explosion. And then Zangief, beautiful, watching this thing happen in real time going, quick, change the channel.
Quick, change the channel.
I love this movie. So Chun-Li blows up the weapons, then somehow gets caught. I don't know how. E Honda and Balrog get caught too. M. Bison, that horn dog. He's all like, send Balrog and E Honda to get tortured. But Chun-Li, send it to my quarters. And I was like, oh boy, here we go. He gets Chun-Li in a brand new outfit that I guess was supposed to be like, hey, this is like your outfit from the game, except it's red. And then he's all changing into his casual hat. Chun-Li is trying to tell this sad story, but she's all like, you used to just be a low class. You came to my village and we were able to stop you with pitchforks, but in the process, you killed my father. And I always knew one day I'd find you again. So I learned martial arts and simultaneously became a journalist so that one day I can hopefully do coverage on you wherever you were to then come and kill you. Great plan. The whole time Bison's just like, let me put on this robe, let me change my hat, let me make a drink, and got his slippers on and chilling out. He's turning on the music, bringing the lights down. He's all he's all getting all cozy, making a drink. And then this is the best. This is great. You know about this. This part is great. She's like, you killed my father. You took over our village. And he's like, I don't remember any of that. I was like, damn. And then she's like, you don't remember? And then he says the best thing, boy. Y'all know it. He's all like, the day that Bison graced your village was the most important day of your life.
But for me, it was Tuesday.
It was Tuesday. Woo! Did he get any award for this? He deserves something. For this man to be sick and to pass away and to be in a Street Fighter movie as a last movie that he did for his kid, because his kid was in a Street Fighter, and to still bring this to such greatness that no one can match saying these same words. I'm not saying he never got the respect. I think he always had the respect, but I'm just saying don't forget that respect. Put respect on Raul Julia's name. He makes this movie. It is so good every time he speaks. And then he looks at Chun-Li and is like, you think you gonna defeat me? Nah, you're harmless. And she's like, oh, I'm harmless. Let's do this. And she flies across the screen. Ah! Yatta! Beats the crap out of Bison. Like, She almost beats Bison. And then someone walks in and is all like, Chun-Li. And she looks over and Bison's like, so you messed up. He closes him up, looks at them through a window like, ooh, what's gonna happen next? Oh, do you see the gas coming out? Ooh, I think you're gonna get knocked out. Ooh, that's how he looks the whole time. And it like fades from the skeleton fireplace to his face laughing. Oh, did I even mention Dhalsim yet? I completely forgot. Carlos Blanka in Bison's trying to create his own super soldier, but somehow creating a super soldier using this transformation chamber and a bunch of chemicals turns you green, you know, because they're trying to get the Blanka look, because they just can't have him look like that. They got to give him a reason. So Dhalsim is a doctor in the movie who creates the way to turn him into this genetic soldier. And what they do is not only you get doused with these chemicals and turn green, but they make you watch like a bunch of just war and fighting to basically numb your mind to be okay with killing. Oh, and Dhalsim's arms do not stretch. There's even a part where he gets knocked into some chemicals, and I thought that was gonna be like, oh, that's the way they're gonna explain how his arm stretches. But I don't think his arms ever stretch in the movie, right? Like, I don't remember, because I started getting a little numb at this point. Ken and Ryu, they're all in the crew, so they even give them new outfits from the gym. Ryu gets a white one, Ken gets a red one, and they got their actual outfits from the game. So Guile, of course, is ready to go in. They know where Bison is. They're ready to attack. But of course, the top heads of the security government have to come in and go, no, Mr. Guile, please turn off your attack. We have prepared a negotiation. We're going to give Bison the money he needs. We believe we can handle Bison. And Guile is like, you about to give this fool $20 billion? You don't think he's gonna do this again? You talking back to me? Have you lost your mind? No, but you have lost your balls. And so Guile goes up and is all like, it's my time to give a speech. They told us the war is canceled and we can go home. People died, but we can go home. Bison will continue to rule, but we can go home. Well, I'm not going home. I'm gonna go up there and kick that son of a bee Bison's ass until the next Bison wannabe feels it. Who's going with me? Yeah! So Blanka's almost like 100% Blanka, but Dhalsim like, all right, I got an idea. I'm gonna go in there and change his programming. So instead of watching all these war propaganda, I'm gonna put on some dolphins and some families. And the I Have a Dream speech from Martin Luther King Jr. Do not bring King into this! How dare you, Street Fighter? So Guile and Cammy and T-Hawk try to get to Bison's lair using like a stealth boat thing. But of course, at some point it gets recognized and it's realized that Guile is alive. Everyone's like, Guile's alive?
Of course!
Sagat, you got played, son! Your friends over there, they've been working with Guile the whole time. And I love when M. Bison lets Sagat know that he got played by Ken and Ryu. With them working for Guile, he was like, I guess you didn't see that, did you? So M. Bison's like, don't worry, I'm gonna blow these fools up. So he pulls out literally the Super Street Fighter 2 arcade controller, like the actual panel from the arcade machine is his device to send up these bombs to try to blow them up. Let me press these buttons here, high kick, low kick. So Guile's like, oh, this boat's about to blow up. We gotta get out of here. So they jump out, the thing explodes. M. Bison once again, after playing with the controller, and blowing up their little transport was all like,
Game over!
So now Guile and Cammy and T-Hawk, they're there. They're walking around, stealth mode. T-Hawk puts on a headband and like, well, hey, what's that? He's like, oh, it's my Cherokee headband. Y'all didn't know? I'm Native American, by the way. I'm also one of the characters from the video game. Just letting you know, this is a thing to emphasize I'm a character from the video game. Guile sneaks in and then Blanka comes. Oh, Blanka. Oh, Blanka. Even Baraka from Mortal Kombat Annihilation was like, all right, dude, what happened there? This poor thing. He's all like, put me out of my misery. And Guile was about to shoot his friend. He's like, I'm sorry, Charlie. To the point where Dhalsim was like, hey, no, he's cool. So they didn't give Bison his money. So Bison's like, all right, hostages, you will now all be killed. And so he brings up the chamber that Blanka was in. So he's going to let Blanka out on the hostages. Guile was like, oh, I got something for him. So he jumps in that chamber and the chamber goes up and that thing opens up and Guile flies out to fight. The dude that jumps out of that chamber is not Jean Claude Van Damme. They didn't even try to hide his face. Another dude completely jumps out. And then when he lands, he just happens to be Guile. Then we get everyone shooting guns in Street Fighter. And of course, Guile's like, come on out here, Bison, let's fight. And Bison's like, no weapons. Let's fight hand-to-hand combat as we should. And Guile's like, I'll do that. Yes, you've made me a happy man. Soon you'll be a dead man. And then they start fighting. E Honda has like this Hawaiian shirt on, but at one point he rips it and takes it off and wraps it around his waist. Okay, I see what's going on here. We even get a Zangief E Honda sumo fight. Like they're wrestling each other. Zangief is taking all his clothes off too, and they're like fighting each other. They land on top of the Bisonopolis model that we saw earlier. Zangief and E Honda fighting over top of the tiny buildings from the model. And these fools literally put Godzilla sounds underneath them. Like the whole time they're fighting, they're going, ah! Balrog's escape, he's fighting down, and then he ends up in that same gym and happens to just randomly find boxing gloves. He even does a Popeye move on somebody where he like does a and boom, DeeJay is like, I'm out to him, man. And he runs off. Ken is like, I'm out. Ryu's like, dude, we gotta help with the fight. Ken's like, nah, man, this ain't my thing. He who coops and runs away lives to coop another day. But Ryu stays to fight. And Ken was about to roll out. He found some stuff he was gonna try to sell later, but he looked on the monitor and he saw Sagat and he saw Vega. And Ken was like, yo, can't do my friend like that. I'm coming for you, Ryu. Bromance. I know I've been making a lot of jokes, but I'm gonna be real. This was the good stuff right here. Everyone's in a fight. We're getting to see a lot of the different moves. Like, they don't have Ryu say Hadouken, but you see something that he does. It kind of looks a little Hadouken-like. We see Guile doing the flip kick. You know, everyone's kind of doing their thing. So I was like, all right, I like this part. And Guile and M. Bison are fighting. It's going wild, but Guile eventually gets the upper hand, knocks M. Bison out. He gets shocked and lands. And Guile's like, yes. And he talks to Cammy. He's like, I'm feeling half dead. What about Bison? He's all dead. Yeah! I don't remember this part of the movie because this was probably when I was working in the video store, but I don't think Bison's dead. And sure enough, that little monitor came on and then we see like the inside of Bison's shirt move and it looks like he's got like the freaking clear inside of his shirt. Guile's talking. You see that Bison body just slowly pop up in the background. I'm like, guess who's back? And then Bison's like, oh, electromagnetic energy. I can fly now. So yeah, you know how M. Bison floats and flies in the video game? They had to explain it. So now he's got some like electromagnetic thing that he had attached to his suit. And then he got them shoes, because just like Super Mario Bros, you gotta have them magic shoes. He starts floating around and flying all over the place, fighting Guile. The place is about to self-destruct. Everyone's trying to get out. DJ's like, I'm done. I know where some money's at, so I'm gonna grab that and go.
My mama didn't raise no fool, baby. Oh man. I should have stayed at Microsoft.
Zangief's like, what are you doing? We have to stay here. And DJ's like, hey man, that's the bad guy. And Zangief's like, that's the bad guy? But then he's like, why did you work here? He's like, because I wanted to get paid, man. And he's like, you got paid? So then Zangief becomes a good guy, even helps everybody get out. So he's a bad guy, but he's not a bad guy. Maybe this is the origin story for Zangief for Wreck-It Ralph. I also love the part where Chun-Li just randomly looks at Cammy and is like, pigtails? Seriously? You had to make your hairstyle like the character in the game? And then Cammy looks at Chun-Li's hair and is like, look who's talking. And she's like, ugh. And of course, Guile beats M. Bison. Of course. Of course. They're all trying to get out, but then Dhalsim and Blanka are like, no, we're gonna stay behind. I created a monster. He is a monster. Sagat meets up with DeeJay. He's like, give me part of that money. But of course, they open the box and what money is in there? Them Bison dollars. And then everyone gets out except for Guile. Oh no, the place went down and Guile's not here. I guess he didn't make it out. Oh, there he is. Why are we even doing this? And then Chun-Li, who's been trying to get an interview with Guile this entire time, and is like, now can I get that interview? And Guile just walks around Chun-Li with her new outfit on, is like, I'll do the interview if you wear that dress. Don't worry, Ming Na. There's a movie coming out called Mulan in a few years. And then after that, you and the mouse are going to do a lot of things together. I'm talking Star Wars, Marvel. It's going to be good. And the movie is ready to end. For some reason, because video game, every character that's on the screen does their video game victory pose as the Street Fighter logo shows up on the screen. And then randomly somebody is laughing. And I thought that was it. I was like, well, that's Street Fighter. Come to find out, that's not it. The movie ends on Peacock, but then I went online looking at information about this movie. Apparently there's an after credit scene that they didn't put in the movie because Raul Julia died, but I guess came out later in like the Blu-ray release. Yes, Street Fighter has a Blu-ray release, by the way. I think I need to buy it. It was one of those like Skeletor from Master of the Universe things where like you think he's done and then that arm comes out at the end like I'm coming back. I like this movie a lot. I like this movie. Now, you know, I like it like I like Cats. I like it like I like Mortal Kombat Annihilation. But that being said, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, they ruined Street Fighter. I'm like, nah, man, this is beautiful. Sometimes when you go so wrong, it's so right. But it's so weird how this movie would do so many things that were not right connected to the games, but yet would still make references to the games. They got the Capcom logo in there. They got the arcade cabinet controller in there. They figured out a way for almost every character to have their actual costume from the game. Like, they would do all these things to reference the game so much, and yet at the same time, the plot has nothing to do with the game at all. But what's really awesome is that for as ridiculous as this movie is, Zangief's like, if I'm dumb, I'm playing it to the hilt. Every character's like, I got some crazy dialogue, I'm just gonna go with it like it's legit. Ming Na brings it. Jean Claude Van Damme, he's in his own world, but hey, it's fun to watch. And of course, Raul Julia, perfection. Oh no, I just realized there's another one, isn't there? There's another one from that time frame. Don't make me do it. Don't make me enter the dragon. The double dragon. I love you like a play cousin. I'm Audi 5000. Thanks again to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. Make sure you click the link in the description to sign up for Surfshark and use my code BNC for 83% off plus 3 extra months for free.